Hello, this is Mr. K's. This is 24.2b. 24.2b. The French Revolution has inspired revolutions throughout Europe. It's hard to contain revolution. People want freedom. People want democracy. Doesn't mean that all revolutions are going to succeed. In the 1830s and in 1848, revolutions swept Europe. Revolutions swept Europe. Many revolutions failed, but some succeeded. Many failed, but some succeeded. Radicals participated in many of the 1848 revolts. Radicals participated in many of the 1848 revolts. You remember that in the original French Revolution, the radicals, like the Jacobins, were the movers and shakers in getting the king killed and the monarchy done away with. Well, we're going to see not necessarily the Jacobins, but the radicals in other revolutions here. French revolutionaries could not agree on what they wanted from their government. Revolutionaries could not agree on what they wanted from their government. Well, French people are finally tired of not knowing what's what, and they wanted a strong ruler. In 1848, France established a republic. But within 4 years, Louis-Napoleon became emperor. Louis-Napoleon became emperor. Now, who is he? Well, you can put down he's Bonaparte's nephew. Bonaparte's nephew. And he takes the title of Napoleon III as emperor. Napoleon III. And under Napoleon III, France prospered. France prospered. The economy started working again. And that made the French people happy. Let's go to Russia now. Unlike France, Russia in the 1800s had yet to make its leap into the modern world. Russia in the 1800s had yet to make its leap into the modern world. You can put down there was very little industry. Very little industry. The Tsars, however, were reluctant to free the serfs. The Tsars, however, were reluctant to free the serfs. Why? It's because landowners would be angry, or the nobles would be angry. And the Tsars got their power from the nobles, so they didn't want to cheese them off. Eventually, Russia's lack of development became obvious to Russia and the world. Russia's lack of development became obvious to Russia and the world. I'm going to show you an example of that. It's the Crimean War. Crimean War. You can put down Russia lost to France, Britain, and the Ottomans due to lack of supplies. In the Crimean War, Russia lost to France, Britain, and the Ottomans due to lack of supplies. They could not resupply their troops with food and weapons and ammunition. So the Tsar, Alexander II, is going to try to modernize Russia. Alexander II is going to try to modernize Russia. Geez, we look back now, isn't Peter the First or Peter the Great, the guy who originally started to modernize Russia, isn't he proven right with this? Reform and reaction. The first and boldest of Alexander's reforms was freeing the serfs. Wow, that's a breath of fresh air. The first and boldest of Alexander's reforms was freeing the serfs. Political and social reforms ground to a halt when terrorists assassinated Alexander II. They murdered Alexander II. Now, who do you think is behind that murder? Well, it's going to be the nobles. They're cheesed off that they lost their serfs. Now they have to pay serfs for labor. Political and social reforms ground to a halt when terrorists assassinated Alexander II. His successor, Alexander III, tightened Tsarist control on the country. C-Z-A-R-I-S-T. He tightened Tsarist control on the country, and built industry. Built industry. Nationalism was driving many people in many countries at this time. Nationalism was driving many people in many countries at this time. Well, this is the end of 24.2b. This is Mr. K's. Bye-bye.